How the hell have we ended up here? We're going to be doing a little bit of an autopsy on PlatinumGames, the studio, and I've got a horrible feeling we might have a BioWare situation, particularly pointing to Anthem. Let me just give you the skinny on where we're up to and why I've been prompted to do this video. Babylon's Fall, and that's the first time the name of that video game has left my lips on the channel. You might have noticed I haven't uttered a single word about it. Came out in February, and it was in conjunction with Square Enix and PlatinumGames. Now, we had this before with Nier Automata, and it smashed it. That was one of Platinum's biggest selling games of all time, and it probably gave Square Enix the green light to stick with them for another title. We're not really sure of the ins and outs of the partnership with Square Enix going forward and PlatinumGames, because Platinum also have some Nintendo loyalty, and they release games on the 10th and 9th generation systems across the board. Think about the Vanquish and Bayonetta package that came out in 2019. Babylon's Fall is always online. It has to be, even with the single player content, and it's littered with these awful cosmetic upgrade and microtransaction options. Now, Anthem was a step out of BioWare's comfort zone, with also having a similar setup, not with the micros, but it was pretty obvious that it was trying to be an always online, seasonal content, DRM, you know the deal. It was something that BioWare, it didn't suit them. They were all about brilliant one-player deep campaigns. Yeah, there was some multiplayer in their catalogue. Dragon Age Inquisition and Anthem are 1,000 miles apart when you think about it on paper. We're looking at here footage that I have stolen. I'll put it in the description. I think it's called X-Player. Less subscribers than me, so go and have a look at the chat. Look at the mess this game is. The way that the weapons appear on the back of the protagonist. I know Nier did that. This is also PlayStation 5 footage, and it looks shocking. I look at myself quite modestly as Platinum's biggest fan, and as a content creator, particularly around the PlayStation, I am absolutely devastated by this so badly that I haven't really been able to talk about it until now, till I was sure that it was completely dead in the water, and that's what's happened. They've just announced that they're switching the servers off next year in February, which has caused zero outrage because the player base was nothing. This game fell so hard. I've got some theories that we're going to explore, one of which is about Scalebound, the cancellation of that, working with Microsoft, that potentially being a platform exclusive. It all fell foul, completely cancelled, all development canned, and this was in 2017. Let's have a look at their timeline for game development. So that was the year that Nier Automata came out. Platinum are flying pretty damn high at this point. They then released Astral Chain, which is a game you 200% have to look at. It was a Switch exclusive. That's another thing I want to do with this video, sort of point out Platinum's good stuff in the past, because going forward we don't know what's going to happen with them. If it wasn't for Bayonetta 2 being released on the Switch also, I would say Astral Chain's that machine's best third-person ARPG. It's freaking unbelievable how good it looks on the handheld and docked. It's just one of my favourite Switch games, full stop. Cannot believe it's marooned over on that system. Same goes for Bayonetta 2. What a disaster, having to buy a Wii U for the damn game. They're making massive mistakes, and a lot of them are becoming more and more unforgivable. Transformers Devastation, which is a game that featured as the second video ever to be put on my channel, is still going very strong in my gaming library. The fan service that it delivers, the voice acting and the characters that feature it, even the playables and the boss fights, nothing equals it on a Transformer level. It's the best homage to that genre of 80s Transformer available, full stop. It's absolutely amazing. You must purchase this. There's all kinds of legal rights and issues coming up with the DLCs because Transformers has changed hands since the game was released, so it's getting more and more important that you grab this physical. This is one of my theories on what I think happened with Babylon's Fall. I think Square Enix went to them and said, yeah, you can do another game and we'll give you a shit ton of budget and we'll act as the publishers and distributors, but it has to be an always online service game and you do have to have loads of microtransactions in it. And Platinum must have thought, Christ, there must be some middle ground with this, but they didn't find it. Platinum also suffered two stinkers in 2016 in the form of a Star Fox remake and a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle port, which was so bad that I haven't even looked at it. I can't even bring myself to look at footage of it. And that new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle indie release where it was 4-player local co-op from the guys that gave us Mercenary Kings just goes to show how much they must have had their eye off the ball when they made that. And going forward, we have the release of Bayonetta 3 in October. This is a huge one, and what's happened is it's going to be Nintendo exclusive again. So there's got to be a stipulation, I think, in the contract that says it has to be an exclusive for X amount of years, and then the rights are released, which is exactly what we got with the Vanquish Bayonetta pack. I think if Platinum weren't in that contract and they can release a 10th generation of Bayonetta 3, like with ray traced 4K at 60 frames per second, having more enemies on screen and just having more outlandish bosses and set piece levels, that would bring them back up to speed in an instant. And they also need to look at this Clover Studio material. I know Okami is owned by Capcom, but there must be a way that they can get to Beautiful Joe or some of their early material to sort of revitalise their couch co-op aspect. The Wonderful 101 remake was a blessing from heaven itself, but that's not enough, Platinum. We need Beautiful Joe too. Back to that Bayonetta 3 thing, let me know if you would snap up a copy of that if it was on our current gen systems. It didn't have to run on that suppressed Switch CPU, I mean that nicely. And of course this contract that Nintendo have got them in, maybe Bayonetta 3 is the last exclusive they have to produce. Maybe it hasn't got that longer exclusivity time and we get it over on the other machines, what, maybe within a year? Let's keep an eye on it. I've also spotted a £70 beautiful limited edition pack that comes with Bayonetta 3 and I'm in all manner of dilemmas about that.
I don't know who's told you. You are doomed.
Babylon's Fall was also a Sony exclusive, so that might have burnt the hands of Sony Studios, seeing how awful of disaster it turned out to be, and we might not see any Sony and Platinum exclusives going forward, so it's all a bit of a disaster. I want to know whether you're looking forward to Bayonetta 3 and would you get that on a different platform. I have of course been Couch Coop. If you want to hear more from me and Couch Co-op and split screen content, I'll see you down there on the channel.